The wind cut like glass through the high Afghan plateau, a place where mountains were sharper than knives and the air itself carried whispers of war. SEAL Chief Marcus Hale had been deployed long enough to read men and weapons like open books. But that morning, when he saw the woman standing beside the Barrett M82A1, adjusting its bipod with calm precision, he paused. Her name was Lieutenant Aria Dawson, attached to the Joint Task Unit as a field observer. But the way she handled the weapon told a different story, not of observation, but of experience. Marcus squinted through the heat mirage, watching her movements. The way she loaded, sighted, and adjusted the elevation. Every motion was fluid, practiced, almost poetic. Didn't know intel officers trained on anti-materiel rifles, Marcus muttered, stepping closer. Aria didn't look up. Didn't know SEAL chiefs asked so many questions, she replied, her tone steady, clipped, but not cold. He smirked. Confidence. He liked that. But when she laid prone, cheek against the cheek rest, and exhaled in one long, steady breath, he felt something shift. The range ahead was endless. Mountains, ridges, and silence. Her finger rested against the trigger, not pressing, just feeling the steel. Marcus followed her line of sight through his spotting scope. There was nothing out there. No targets, no movement. Just rocks and air. Then he saw it. A dull shimmer on a distant cliff, almost invisible to the naked eye. A tiny piece of metal, half buried, exactly 3.2 kilometers away. Marcus frowned. Impossible. Before he could say a word, she fired. The Barrett thundered, echoing through the valley. Dust leapt from the ground, the recoil kicking into her shoulder, but she didn't flinch. She simply blinked once, calmly, and waited. 5 seconds later, a distant metallic ping echoed back through the mountains. Marcus lowered the scope. That wasn't a fluke, was it? Aria finally looked at him, her eyes calm, gray as the clouds over Helmand. No, she said softly. That was a reminder. He stared at her, dumbfounded. Reminder of what? That distance doesn't mean safety, she said, standing up and locking the rifle's bolt. And that you never underestimate a woman who's already buried her ghosts at 3,347 meters. Marcus didn't reply. He just watched as she slung the massive Barrett across her shoulder and walked away, boots silent in the sand. Later, back at camp, curiosity got the best of him. He opened her service file, half redacted, thick with classified stamps. But one section wasn't blacked out. It read, confirmed kill 3,247 meters, longest recorded by a female sniper in active combat. And beneath it, a single note, target, enemy cell leader responsible for death of entire recon team, including fiancé, Lieutenant Nathan Cole. Marcus leaned back slowly, the story writing itself in his mind, a sniper not fueled by pride or fame, but by loss and the promise of closure. He closed the file, exhaled and whispered to no one. Damn, she's not just good. She's legendary. Like this story, tap that like button and subscribe to her Mission Diaries now. 2 weeks later, Aria Dawson was back on the ridge. Same sky, same rifle, but a new mission. Intel had traced a high-value insurgent leader moving through the valley, the same valley where her fiancé's unit had vanished years ago. The mission was simple: observe, confirm, eliminate. Marcus had insisted on joining her. Not to interfere, but to understand. They moved before dawn, climbing through jagged stone until they reached the overlook. Below, a convoy of 3 trucks crawled through the valley, moving slow, almost cautious. Through the scope, Aria tracked them, adjusting windage, checking her dope sheet like it was scripture. 3 clicks, crosswind at 5 knots, Marcus whispered. You can't take that shot. Too far. Aria didn't blink. That's what they said last time. She adjusted her scope, 3,247 meters. The number burned in her mind, not as a record, as a grave marker. For a moment, the world stilled, just her heartbeat, the wind, and the memory of a man who never came home. She breathed in deep, steady, and let it all go in one controlled exhale. Crack. The sound tore through the air like lightning. The bullet traveled, invisible but absolute, cutting through time and distance. Marcus counted silently. 1, 2, 3. Then the lead truck jolted, tires locking, chaos spreading through the convoy. One man fell, the others scattering like shadows. She didn't celebrate. She didn't smile. She just closed the bolt, breathed out, and whispered, "For you, Nate." Marcus lowered his binoculars, jaw tight. "You did it," she nodded. "No," she said softly. "We did it. For every one of them who didn't get to go home." They packed up silently. The ridge behind them seemed lighter now, as if the mountains themselves had witnessed something sacred, not vengeance, but peace. Back at base, the report came through. Target confirmed. Mission complete. But the chief didn't log it under kills. He logged it under closure. That night, sitting beside the fire, Marcus turned to her. "You ever think about quitting? After all this?" Aria smiled faintly. "I already did. Every time I pull the trigger, I leave a part of me behind. But some missions aren't about quitting. They're about remembering who you're doing it for." The wind picked up again, carrying the faint echo of that distant shot through the valley. Some said it was the sound of war. But Marcus knew better. It was the sound of a promise kept. If Aria's story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe to her Mission Diaries, where real courage meets untold stories of women who changed history, one mission at a time.